Greetings, this is Russ Moody, and this is another battle report featuring my Orc Lord Orcturious and his Orcs and Goblins. This battle is against a Beastmen army, a different style list than probably most Beastmen, as there's no Bestigors, but still he did have a big group of Minotaurs, and we're going to see how effective those are in a minute. This is a 2,500 point game, and it was a watchtower scenario for. I won the roll off and ended up with the tower. I didn't have a unit that I could put in there, but first off, we'll start with my deployment. First, I would like to add a couple changes for my list. This is not 3,000. This is 2,500 points, and so one of the things I did is I don't have my Orc Warlord, and then I took out a Doom Diver and lowered the Savage Orcs down to just plain biggins, and a lot of this was a little intentional. I wanted to play a little bit fluffier list, a little bit softer than usual, and also to accommodate the 2,500 points. But still, as you can see, it ends up being pretty effective. Alright, going on to my deployment. First, you'll see this is my right flank, and I've got 2 stone throwers on a hill and a unit of wolf riders that have not yet vanguarded forward. Going on, next is my unit of goblins, and then moving over, you see 2 chariots in between the goblins, and then finally moving over towards the center and then kind of the left edge of the board, you see I've got a unit of my black orcs are right there in front of that building, a unit of trolls, and behind them I've got my level 4 orc shaman, and my BSB is just bunkered in those boar boys. And I didn't take, like I said, I didn't take a war boss, so the level 4, he's the general. They have the standard of discipline, though, so he's leadership 8, and he's pumping out leadership 9. And then next to that is my unit of biggins. Moving on to his deployment, we've got, starting with his right, my left, so his right flank. And what you see, he's got a small unit of Ungors with a level 1 or 2 Bray Shaman, and then a bigger unit of Gores next to that. And then it's hard to see, but in the forest, it's a fungus forest, but there's a herdstone. And one of the interesting things he did on his deployment is he put the herdstone in the forest to find out what the forest was before he decided whether or not he wanted to be in there, which I thought was a clever use of the herdstone, as you risk nothing to find out what a forest is. Going on over, you see he's got as a unit of Minotaurs, and then there's a BSB and a Doom Bull, I believe is his general. And next to that is his converted Cygor. And some of these pictures, I tried to get a little bit closer when I took some of the pictures of his models, because they're all excellently painted, and he's got some really fun, neat conversions in there. So hopefully you can see them, and my pictures are good enough. Going on over to my right flank, his left, is he's got 2 chariots, and then on the far end there that's actually a lone razor gore. And then the final picture is you see he deployed some harpies as a scout, and so they're right next to that tower. Alright, next, this is my vanguard move. I moved my wolf riders there in front of the house so that they can either choose to get around the house to get in his flank, or interrupt those chariots that are right there and make him make a choice. And we're going to move right on into his turn 1. And right here he rolled a 6, so this small unit of ambushing Ungors ends up, and then they show up right behind my stone throwers, so they're going to interfere with that. And I think this is something that you might have to do as Beastmen to some extent, because without having really dangerous shooting of your own, I think Beastmen need to rely on things like ambushers in order to take out our enemy artillery. Next, he moves his harpies forward in front of the building, and following that, the next his chariots kind of slide forward a little bit. The razor gore moves behind the building, and generally everything kind of goes forward. Tars move up towards the building, and then he casts some magic. This next picture you see is he cast some magic and he killed one of my river trolls, and that was about all he managed. He cast something else in the magic phase. I don't remember what it was, but it didn't really do anything like he got it off, but it didn't manage to really even affect me or hurt me because I made the ward saves or whatever. Now we're gonna move on to Orcs and Goblins turn 1, and as you can see, I push forward. My trolls move up, my boys march up, my black orcs also move up, and along with the boys, you'll notice I actually did not do the watchtower blitz, if you're familiar with that, where you reform and then move in so you can get into the tower of turn 1. I'm not sure how I feel about it, and this is a friendly game, so I just avoided that tactic altogether. And as you can see here, what happened is my Night Goblins actually got the squabble result. They rolled a 1 on their animosity and then a 5, and so they ended up declaring a charge against those harpies that were in the middle of nowhere. And just to further chase those harpies away, I declared some charges with my chariots, and they ended up fleeing pretty much to the near to the back behind the minotaurs. Right there, you can also see my wolf riders have moved in to engage a chariot. They charged on in. And what this picture is, the next picture, is I cast Hand of Gork, which is one of the reasons I wasn't concerned about whether or not I could get my huge black orc unit into that tower, because I just used my magic dice and Hand of Gorked him in there anyway. But I did have a ton of options, and this is what's great about the Hand of Gork. I thought about several different things. One, I could have moved my Night Goblins up forward, to further harass the enemy or right in front of those chariots, so that his chariots, would have been forced right into those Night Goblins. I could have done that. Or on the other side, I could have used it to teleport my biggins all the way forward, outside of the charge arc of the Minotaurs and right into the faces of the Ungors, the Gors that he had, which was his main combat block. So, but I chose to take the objective, and so what you see there is the standard for the Black Orcs, and he's signifying that they're all in that watchtower. And then this picture, that is, I believe it was either a level 2 or a level 3 Bray Shaman. And what happened is my Stone Thrower, actually, I placed it, and I got a hit, and the center hole landed right on this guy's head. And he failed his Lookout Sir and ended up dying from the stone shot. And that actually saved me, because he was next to that Herdstone, and he was channeling he was getting all these additional dice. And with the death of that guy, it greatly enabled my magic. And pretty much the rest of the game, I kind of have a free hand with my magic. And then this is the other Stone Thrower, which again managed to hit more of his guys and more of that unit, and did some more damage. And finally, we see this is combat with his chariot. And what you see here, I lost 2 guys, and I actually ended up doing enough wounds that I killed that chariot that they're standing in front of. But I don't think I did it this round. I think I did it in the next round.